afternoon, yes, we're just having a little sit-down chat with, a very young and upcoming coach, a teacher by profession, yes, a popular name in football, especially in St. Catherine. The Wolfe is no other than Kemeel. Good afternoon, sir. Welcome to the Saudichress Show.
Good afternoon.
So, right, but at
And all is well?
yeah, so far, so good, yeah? Couldn't be better without you. I heard that there's a lot at stake when we talk about the Wolfe. Not so much the other ones, but of course, Kemeel has
Well, not too much to say about that, but we are well known, as it relates to football, especially football in St. Catherine. I'm a part of what we call the Wolfe Pack. Okay. Yes, with Wolfe being the bigger one, and myself in the middle, and then we have Rafi.
Yes,
So people normally would know us as the Wolfe Brothers, or the Wolfe Pack, or the Wolfe Pack.
As you talk about Wolfe Pack, there is a business
Yes,
with that name. Tell us about that.
Well, our family is a sports-oriented family. We have sisters that are national players in terms of netball, Tiffany, and also Nisha. So, being a sports-oriented family, we decided that we want to still be in line with the sport. Yes. And hence the brand came about what it relates to. Because Wolves don't really want some
In groups.
So at some point, maybe you have a one lone wolf, but most of the time we hunt in groups. So the name really came out of that as a family in terms of the Wolfe Brothers. So that is what. Yeah, so we do jerseys, so far jerseys and t-shirts and stuff, custom jerseys and hats.
So, Wolfe, football,
Yes.
where it all began?
Well, it began in a small community at the border of St. Catherine and Clarendon, known as Saudichress Show. Yes, so that is where it all began, where we were there in a community that, was all about the sport, the game of football, right? And the persons before us, like the elders back then, used to play football. So we grew up at a sports club near Sport Festival. I don't know how well you know that.
Yes, man.
That big space. So yeah, we used to be thief, and go out and go play ball all day.
Wow.
Especially like a summertime like now. We would leave like 7 a.m. and mom wouldn't see us, or dad wouldn't see us until lunchtime.
Oh, that was good.
Well, at that point in time, we loved the game. We loved the game, and we loved to play the game, And as I said, we came out of a sports-oriented family. Even Omar Cummins, our cousin, and Christopher Cummins, those persons were also a part of our family because we lived close by, and those persons were our cousins, So we played ball like right through the days.
So, you started from primary school and that's in more competitive football. Which primary school did you attend?
Well, I attended the Marley Mount Primary. Yeah, that's in Wolfe, or thing is our Green Lizard. People hear me talk about Green Lizard, they know what I'm talking about. That is Marley Mount Primary. And that is where really and truly, yes, I played my first competitive type of football where we played against, especially Wolfe Primary and Wolfe Big. And then this other school, I think it's Davis Primary.
Yeah,
so I can remember as a youngster playing all the time against those three schools. So that was where it basically started in terms of competitive football. But to be honest with you, we have always been playing football. From a younger age, as young as I can remember, even we had a yard that was a big yard.
Yeah.
Not big yard in the sense that has a lot of houses, but have a lot of space. So, my father also loved sports. He loved sports, but cricket was his thing.
Wow.
Yeah, he loved cricket. And sometimes he even, cussed us out and said, well, no, I'm not going to play cricket in a best sport. But, nevertheless, he supported us.
Apparently, you don't like the smaller ball.
No, I'm going to give you a story about that, but, when I finish. But to be honest with you, we grew up in that big space, so we played all different types of sports, all different netball, basketball, we played everything. And he was someone who ensured that we have whatever we need. Even at one point, we played table tennis and golf in the yard. So you can just imagine this place.
Real sporting.
Yeah, man. So That was it.
So you move on from Marley Mount Primary and you were transitioned to Jonathan Grant High School.
No, before I came to Jonathan Grant, I was at Wolfe High.
Oh,
Yes, so I went
interesting.
To, yes, so I went to Wolfe High for 3 years, up to grade 9. And then I actually left and came to Jonathan Grant through a teacher named Mr. Wilshire. Yes, so he was there. I think he's from Wolfe. At the time he was living in Wolfe, so he normally drive around and scout players, and he saw us play, and he decided that he wanted all of us, Rafi, Woolry, Omar, myself. But I was kind of hesitant at first, because I love where I was at. I loved Wolfe. I was comfortable there, and so my brothers and cousins decided that they wanted to attend Jonathan Grant. So they left, and I came the year after.
Okay.
Yes, so that was how I ended up at Jonathan Grant.
So at Jonathan Grant, you played what level of football you started? You started with junior football, or you actually ran straight into the senior team?
Well, I actually went straight into Manning Cup. The ISA rule still stands now. When you reach at a particular age, when you're over 16, you have to sit out a year. So when I came, I sat out a year actually. The year that I sat out was the year that we won Walker Cup. My brother was a part of it. My younger brother Rafi and Wolfe was a part of the team, and Omar was a part of it. I was more of a player that came and was participating in training and just a prepare for next year.
So you pushed the fires as well?
Well, yes. So I consider myself not to be integral in the success of the team, but I was a part of winning the trophy.
And that's very important.
Yes.
Jonathan Grant has tasted success at senior level football.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, you're a teacher at Jonathan Grant. Tell us about it.
Well, being at Jonathan Grant is like coming home in a sense, to teach. It is very different from being here as a student. Sometimes I actually forget sometimes where, I still remember my colleagues, who are my teachers, who were my teachers back then, but, it was easy to make the transition and I was welcome. But before even entering Jonathan Grant as a teacher, I was at Veer. I was at Veer Technical for 1 year teaching. Yeah, so that was also a good experience.
See, I mean, not just as giving back as a teacher per se in the classroom, but you are present with the head coach of the Jonathan Grant football team, maybe the technical director of the football program here at Jonathan Grant. Tell us, when was that? When you started as the head coach, or your own involvement in coaching at Jonathan Grant?
Well, I started as the technical director, the head coach at Jonathan Grant in 2018. Right? But before that, I was 2019, because I was working with Mr. Neil. Yes, as his assistant coach, and he actually went to Green Park, and then I was offered the job to coach at Jonathan Grant. Funny enough, I always tell my boys about a story when I was attending the school. I used to talk to Mr. Parks, one of the great persons I would think has walked through the school in terms of, as a teacher, as a person, somebody who I look up to as a role model. And when I was here at Jonathan Grant, I actually told him that when you're leaving, I'm going to be the one to actually take your job in terms of getting your job.
So you're running the man, you want the job, bro?
No, no, I didn't run him.
I just want to know. Set the
No,
facts straight.
Yeah, so I told him that when you're leaving, in terms of when it's time for you to retire, I would be the one that would be, taking over and also coaching the Manning Cup team. Coincidentally, that the same year that he was leaving, I was actually doing a part-time job at Veer. So my time at Veer was expired. So I was now looking at job. And funny enough, long and short of the story, I ended up here, not knowing that it was was actually David. So I actually did the interview and got the job. So phase one was completed, and then now I think 2 years after getting the job. But the first year I actually sat out because I was more focusing on the classroom aspect of the job. And then now after year two, coming, I was offered to be a part of the assistant coach. Year three, Mr. Neil left. Yes, so that is the current. Then year three he left, and I was offered the job by the principal.
So that the tongue is very powerful.
Yes,
Word is very powerful. So you have actually talk yourself into the job.
yes.
Very, very important.
Yeah.
Now, 2018 you started. We are at 2024. Let's look at what happened over last year, the last competition, 2023. With you, I understood that you had a very, very good team. Talk to us about your own participation, not just as a coach, but team overall.
Well, first I would just like to make it known that for me as a coach, I have never entered a competition to be a participant in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
I have never entered in a competition to be a participant. I always think that I am entering to compete for a title, right? No matter what the obstacles are, the team that I have, I always try to let my boys know that they're just as good as anybody else that is playing in the competition. All right. Not to say that I don't have respect for the other teams, but I always let them know that you're just as good. All right. 2024 season for me. 2023 season.
Yes.
Because we are in 2024 season now. So 2023 season for me. I think we have been doing good over the last 3 years because we are left our zone. Sometimes second place, or I think 2 years ago we tied with stats with the same amount of points. Yes, going through, and they went ahead by goal average. Last year at Haile Selassie, we and them we were also in the same zone, and I think they went through 3 points a point. I think, I'm not sure. I'll have to check back the record. But the guys have been doing good throughout the years, right? And I think that we just need to get over that hurdle when we reach to the second round. That is where we always fall short. And we're working on it this year. We have kept back a few players, but the team is still a relatively young.
So young in age or young in experience?
Well, I would say much of the same, because some of the players that we were looking forward to having back, because of personal issues, they are not here. So it's like we constantly rebuild. We're constantly rebuilding. But I think we have good amount of experience, but I think we could use a bit more in terms of experienced players. But as we throughout this season, like the more games we play, the more practice games we play, I see where the youngsters now are becoming more comfortable and relaxed in terms of the game and the aspect of what we want them to carry out.
Now, as a coach, we know that support is very important.
Yes.
Yeah, from the school perspective, the community,
Yes.
assistants,
Yes.
managers, sports directors. How the support has been since you took over as coach, even though present?
Well, I would want to say that the support could be better, could be way better. Throughout the years, I've watched our manager, who is Mrs. Bell. Yes, she basically always carried this team on her shoulder where support is concerned, or where being there for the boys is concerned. Right? But in terms of as a school community, I think the support could be a little bit better.
We're talking about support as it relates to financial. Uh,
Well, in all areas, it could be better in terms of certain aspects.
so in terms of assistant, or you have an assistant or assistant coaches.
Well, I have an assistant coach that I'm working with now, Mr. Sterling, But as I said, the support where that part is concerned, it's a little bit difficult because financially, at some point, we don't have the luxury and the resources like other schools to readily get persons who we would want to coach or to be an assistant coach. Or have the support team in terms of a coaching staff per se. Alright, so we make do with what we have, and I think we have been doing a very good job given the circumstances. But it can only get better. We are resilient in terms of pushing for what we want, and we push through. We may complain, but we are still complying.
So, it seems like you have some of the army thing in
Yeah,
you.
man, we complain, but we
Comply
still.
before you complain.
Yeah, man. So
Which
we
is very,
work
very
through.
important.
Yes, so we try to instill those things in the boys, even when we are doing physical training. You might complain, it might get hard, but we still have to do the work.
Coach, I know you have a vibrant principal over the years.
Yes.
A man who we have seen at the football matches lacking the pan
Yes.
covers.
Yes.
Talk to us about how that helped the boys. That whole influence from, such a stalwart, that work out to be.
Well, to be honest with you, throughout the years when I'm here and principal, Dr. Uncle, come out and support the boys, it gives them a different outlook. It kind of boosts their confidence, And being the type of leader that he is, the boys always try to do their best to not quote unquote say please him, but make him proud.
And that's important.
Yes, and that is important, and to see your leader out there with pat covers and sometimes taking off that jacket and being a part of a football fan, being a football fan, it really it's overwhelming for the boys wherein they want to do the school proud, they want to do it for sir, in a sense.
What about you as a coach?
Well, it always, for me, it also feels good, to know that, you have the support from your principal, and anybody at all, or any coach at all, would tell you that to see your principal at a game, or, is very interested in what is happening, or how the team plays, or how the boys are working out, or try to look out for the boys as best as possible. He's a disciplinarian, yes, but when it comes to the game of football, he basically is there to support, and he's very kind of article.
So what can we expect going forward?
Well, going forward, our new principal is someone who is also supportive of the sport.
Okay.
Yes, our acting principal now. So, I can assume that the same energy or even more would be shed on some of those games. And going forward for the team for this season, we try to instill in the boys that, a little bit more focus and a little bit more confidence in terms of how they see themselves as a football player.
Talk to us about your sports director. I've learned that you have a very vibrant sports director. I mean, a female like that. Tell us. I mean, how that has been, how our input, what's the type of results have you been seeing with her managerial role or her interest in this sport?
Well, since entering Jonathan Grant as a teacher, I came to know Miss Bell about 2018.
Yes.
Well, and I've learned that over the years she has always been being the manager for the football team, right? Someone who is always, as I said, she puts the boys in terms of first, and she's a very organized person, a disciplinarian, So it's like, for me, it's basically tough love in terms of for the boys. She show them love, but at the same time, they cannot step out of line, right?
Right.
So yes, that
It's always there.
You're always there, yeah. And for me, I think she is someone who is good for the job. As I said, yeah, she has put certain things in place where being a sports director is concerned. That I have seen so far. And as I said, she goes out and in terms of making sure that the sports, is run at a particular way in the school. And I really, really appreciate her as our manager and also as a sports director. And I can say this basically most of the other coaches that she is doing a wonderful job so far.
It's very, very important that when you have that sort of support, you realize that it goes a very long way, because many times people tend to just look at the coaches,
Yes.
whether it is in good or it is in a bad situation.
Yeah.
But these support staffs are,
Very
prove
important.
that it is very, very important. I mean, I don't want to call names, but tell us, what's the strength of this team going forward?
Well, the strength of this team going forward, in terms of we try to play as a unit. That is one of our strengths. We try to take away the individual aspect in terms of, but we do have individuals who can do their thing. But we try as best as possible to play team football and simple football. That is basically our strength. So far, we're still working on it. It's 3 weeks away, 3.5 weeks away, I think, from the start of the season. But we still have a little bit of ironing out to do. Yes, so if I should say the strength is this so far or that so far, if I should pinpoint certain things, then I wouldn't be. Yes. But so far we're trying to play cohesive football as a team. Team sports, team ball.
I must say, it's a big job. You have been doing a wonderful job. From my perspective, I was watching the guys train a few times. I've been at the training. I've seen where improvements have been made. We are looking for great things, and not to let out too much out there, because I know a lot of rivals have one of the most tough team in your zone, if you want to put it.
Yes.
In Mona.
Yes.
You played against Mona last year, and you don't want to look back at that game, but in perspective, in short, what can we look forward to? Should this be a rival or should it be a revenge match?
Well, to be honest with you,
Yes.
you have to look back at things sometime to move forward. That is my, where you went wrong, what you did wrong, what you could have done better.
True.
So you have to analyze, right? And for me, Mona being in our group, as I said, I respect everything, no matter if you have won the competition before or not. I respect every team and I respect every coach. And being in Mona, yes, we know that they have talented players and they are a talented team, but they are still just a team, just like any other Almani Cup team. And that is what I want to as I say, let my boys know. It's gonna be a tough game, as I said to you, because we're playing against quality persons, quality team. Last year, yes, we on a what would I call it now, home and away basis. Yes, we lost 10-1, 9-1, somewhere around there. But I try to take away the positive from the game, which is good, right? I try to take away the positive, and revenge match. There's no such thing as a revenge match in that sense. No, I don't really call it a revenge match. There's no such thing as a revenge match. Yes. So we learn from it, because every time something doesn't go right, I use it as a lesson. I take it as a lesson. Yeah. So if you're gonna look at it as a revenge, you're going with your head all crowded and slowed with all type of things, because now you're focusing on trying to get back at the person or get back at the team. But for me, I take away the lessons from the game. And Craig is somebody that I know because he used to coach me at Blind as well when I was there. And as I said, somebody who I respect. No matter what persons may say or persons may have know, outside of football, I see him as a person. Obvious difference in terms of opinions and things, but yeah,
And that's
and
okay.
nothing is wrong with that. You know, nothing is wrong with that. But for me personally, I can't wait for the season to start. You know, and I know our boys are also eager for the season to start. I can tell you is that we're gonna go and we're gonna give it all of us. My prediction is that impossible is not impossible. Therefore, nothing is impossible once it is humanly possible. So once somebody is there that has done it before, there's no reason why we can't. No reason why my boys can't, because it is humanly possible. So these are the things, you know, we try to let our boys know every time.
People, on that note, this is where we end. I really want to say thank you again, boss.
Yeah, man.
Respect and
Anytime.
congratulations to
Yeah,
all the success you had in the past.
Yeah, man, I'm looking
for
forward
great
for
things
more.
in the
Yeah,
future.
man.
All right, so
Thank
people,
you for having me.
that was Kemeel Wolfe, and as you know, where is that? Jonathan Black, home of the Tigers.
Yes.
So this is where we
JG.
say goodbye.